Hello and welcome to Train Symbiotic, and I hope everyone have had a good Christmas and New Year, and I hope everyone's doing well. Sorry if you hear any bangs or noises around, that's people having fireworks and that kind of stuff. So this is my first finished layout, walking for plank. And there's problems with this, so this layout is going to be going in for bin. There's too many problems to save it. I've got a few bits to salvage from it, so I'll give you a quick walkthrough and we can then salvage for bits I can, and then it will be gone in history. So let's start the titles. This is walking for plank. It's a 0009 or HOE layout. So this run engage track at a 00 or HO scale train. This was the first layout I actually finished. All the trains on this have been salvaged. And this is what I used for Rocco Multi Mouse on it. You can see I tried techniques like doing a poured floor and static grass without a static grass applier, just a puff bottle. I was always quite proud of what I did here, and I learnt so much. So you can see I got plaster cloth here, which is painted, and then we've got scenery on top. But there's a few problems. All of these points have been wired in completely wrong. These are electric frog points, so it means that it's relying on the switch, which caused me no end of problems. And that was the biggest mistake, so this could never run properly. I would get short circuit all the time where about things weren't quite done correctly. So we got a station in the back which can't be salvaged. We got these 10 little portals which should be able to be saved, which I'll do later on, but we can take these people off. These are just workmen, as this layout was based on the idea of this was a narrow gauge line, no, a standard gauge branch line, which was abandoned and then taken over by a narrow gauge group, hence the reason you've got the standard gauge tunnels but narrow gauge track running on it. And it had two little cassettes at the end, and this was a digital system. So you can see underneath we've got our points and we've got our point motor. All of these will be saved, and we've got how I gave power to the other boards. So all the points are powered from this unit just here. If I grab a screwdriver, we can take it off. This is ESU Loco Pilot, and I bought it as a Batman version. So this just comes off like that. Then you've got track power and power. And then you have all your digital, all your point outputs. You have a programming button, and you have a switch for different modes. And the nice thing is you could actually run 2 servos from this. And you had feedback because this actually use what do you call it? It uses what's the name of it? Railcom. So it's a Railcom unit. So that will be salvaged. Then we have our point motors. So they are for short ones, and they just pull off. So this is a walking the plank. You can see that all the track was powered by these little buses. Let me go and find a smaller screwdriver and we can disconnect everything. So I'll actually use a pair of scissors. So I can just cut the ends off these. And cut that, so that's now ready for the next use. And we've got the colours in the correct place. So from this I'm going to salvage all the point motors, as they are worth a bit of money. I'm also going to salvage some of this lead, so that I can use for Gloco system again, as that plug into it. I'm not too worried about these mounting points, as you can buy them cheaply enough. So that's all the point motors out. So the last thing to salvage are these tunnel portholes. And I really stuck them in. But hopefully, with a bit of skill, that's one ready for the next layout. And you can see how it was buried in the side. And then I'll do the same on this one. Taking the top surface off, we can see how this is actually made. So you have the grass, then paint. Then underneath there you had the plaster bandage, which I went a bit too heavy. Then I had a wreathen frame. Then I had a wooden frame, which is braced. So if I just move you like that. So what have I actually learnt from this? I learnt how to make really nice looking hills. Don't have anything uniformed. I've learnt several techniques with scenery and building frames. I've learnt about mistakes with wiring. I've learnt how much space I need to run narrow gauge locos, as even these weren't long enough. That really wasn't long enough. So I learnt a lot. I would say this was one of my biggest accomplishments in my young model making experience. I'm by no means an expert, but this gave me a good step forward and I learned so much from it. What am I going to take from it going forward? the layout is never flat. Plans on the new layout is to have as many different layers as I can. So hopefully we'll have storage underneath, and then we'll have a multi-layered layout. I hope to get 009 in my new layout, but that's all dependent on size. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching, I really appreciate it. Thank you for all the support I had over Christmas. I'm down to most probably one video a week. It might turn to one video a fortnight, just depending on how everything's going. And I'm hoping my next video will be next Saturday, when we're going to be looking at the Hornby releases and my thoughts on it. So I appreciate everybody out there. I'll say it because everybody said it anyway. Remember to like, subscribe and comment. And I'll see you all next time. Thank you very much. Richard.